Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I'm Adeni G. Shafe. Well, the Super Eagles of Nigeria right now really about to ready to face the Jotos of Guinea-Bissau. A match that a lot of Nigerians are really hoping that will win. It's going to be a big encounter, even though the country appears very small, but we just have to take it very serious. Victor Osimhen will be leading the Eagles, and that match is a match that a lot of Nigerians want to see. Osimhen lead Eagles for 3 points against White Dogs of Guinea-Bissau. A match that they just have to play well for them to do well in this encounter. I have in the studio gentlemen from the immediate left-hand side. I have Omoni Oluwafermi. Good to have you, Omoni.
Thank you very much, Adeni Ajishofe.
And I have Emmanuel Fashimi, who is already looking like Osimhen. You're already looking like Osimhen
yes.
For this particular encounter. A big one happening right now over there at MK Abiola Stadium. Let's take you on this.
Yes, for the Super Eagles, I think they are actually taking on the Jotos of the Guineans right now, and from feelers, they are actually doing well on the pitch of play. But overall, we know the importance of this game, and we have to do everything within our power to get all the 3 points. And if we actually win this particular encounter going on right now, we already have one of our foot at the AFCON 2024. So we have to just do everything within our power to get the maximum 3 points. The Guineans, the Guinea-Bissau, they are second on the table with 4 points. With what happened between Sao Tome and Principe, that was day before yesterday. They ended on a 1-1 note. So if we get all the maximum 3 points, then we are comfortable, and already we should be saying welcome to the AFCON, and which I know the players, they themselves, they know what is at stake. And outside that, we lost the World Cup ticket, we lost the Chan Nations Cup ticket. This time around, we want to get it right.
This time around, I want to get it right. They are talking about Victor Osimhen, the man that has been a talisman across anywhere he plays in Europe. Is he Champions League or even the race for Scudetto? He has been fantastic now, leading the Eagles for this particular game against Guinea-Bissau. Nigerians are waiting to see what the talisman will be doing. Will he be scoring? Well, that is for them to answer, as that particular game is getting so hot up. Osimhen lead Eagles. Let's hear from Omoni. Now, just like Emmanuel just opined concerning this game, Eagles know what is at stake. They need to win this. One, to send a lot of signals to Africa that they've arrived, they are yet to lose their mojo. And two, at least they want to be at AFCON, looking at the fact that we were ousted by Ghana from Chan and also from the World Cup. Eagles, they know the importance of this game. From your own side of this particular topic we are looking at, the Eagles match against Guinea-Bissau, what would you say the Eagles should do to easily defeat the Guinea-Bissau team?
Yeah, it's just very simple. The best way to defend is to attack, and the way to attack is to keep the ball. As long as your opponent doesn't hold the ball, they can't score you. That's the only rule. Unless you have the ball, then you can kick. Then if you can't kick, definitely there's no way a goal can come in. So Odiose Posero side, the only thing I want, or that I've been seeing them doing so far now since the game started, is that they should keep the possession. When you keep the possession, then it frustrates your opponent. Before you know it, you get goals in. And this game is very, very important. Just like Emmanuel said, we can't afford to lose this game on our home soil, not even to a country like Guinea-Bissau. I'm not underrating them, but we can't afford to lose this game. It's very, very important to us. Very, very important, because I always love competitions like this. I always love that you do your homework as soon as possible before you start doing permutation. I hate that permutation thing, especially when we go for AFCON or World Cup. We start thinking, okay, if the other team, other side, if they draw, okay, if they score 2 goals, okay, we can score 3 goals.
You turn to mathematics.
Why can't we just do it as soon as possible, and let's forget it? Let's give those permutations to other side. Don't let us be in that position. So that's one thing I want. That boys finish our work on time, and even with 2 games to spare, we already sealed AFCON qualification, and that's all. Let's make A when the sun shines.
Good one there. At least ending it with a proverb. I see you laughing. I still don't know why you're laughing. Is it the proverb or the fact that you said permutation and?
Permutation has always been something we are conversant with, and that is why I still frown till now while the sacking of Guinea-Bissau. So many.
He has always been your friend.
Yeah. So many persons have questioned me on that. I love Guinea-Bissau for one thing. Guinea-Bissau will give you qualification before the time, and for his time with us, will qualify with games to spare. So I still question the NFF, why did they sack him? But for Jose Pizarro, he needs to also give us a quality. Already we lost 4 games under Jose Pizarro. Friendlies, we might say it's friendlies, but the competitive one, fine, we've won it. When we meet tougher opponent, how do we react? Now in the friendlies, we met tougher opponents. We lost 4-0. The last batch was the 4-0 against Portugal before the World Cup. So we need to correct our runs. And I think he was talking tough yesterday, defending the players he has selected for this particular game that is going on. And one question came up concerning the under 20 guy Bamiyi that is there, and he said he feels. He chose Bamiyi because of his versatility. Because he can, he's an utility player. He can play as a central defender. He can also play from the right wing back, which was why he actually brought him into the team. So let's see if Jose Pizarro's justification of his selection. And then somebody asked about this guy Folarin Balogun, why hasn't gotten the invite and the rest of them. He said the player is right now at the moment at the best he has gotten. And so and a lot of questions coming up defend why Musa is still in the team, and I love the way he answered. People kept saying, why should they invite Ahmed Musa? I think Ahmed Musa still has a role to play. He's a leader in the team. No matter how we look at it, we still need the services of Ahmed Musa. He might not start, but those his qualities. That is what Jose Pizarro is going for.
Well, we've been talking concerning the match between Nigeria versus Guinea-Bissau. A big one there. Really, the analysts in the studio have been talking tough concerning this game. Eagles know what is at stake. Pizarro also, who is the coach, has also been talking concerning that. That's well, the reason why he chose Bamiyi, that is the captain of the under-20 team, for the fact that he's versatile enough to operate for the Super Eagles. We wait to see what will be happening in this game. Well, we just hope that Nigeria will win this particular encounter. It's a big one. Why? Nigerians want to see Super Eagles doing well again after what happened against Ghana. We want to see them getting back. And if you look at Europe, they've been dominating when it comes to scoring goals. Ademola Lookman, Victor Osimhen, Terence Murphy, you have a lot of them there. Even Paulo Nacho, that have not been able to get his groove well over there in Southampton. Formerly, when he was in Genk, he was doing so well. And we look at a lot of Nigerian strikers, especially Oban is there in Belgium with Ghent, and is also doing so well. A lot of them really painting European football red with gold. But right now, they are back to their homeland, and they are here to at least make us proud again. Let's see what the Super Eagles will be doing concerning this game. Really, they've arrived again. Now, gentlemen, before we go to another story, let's talk about the Super Eagles. We know that before, when Super Eagles are playing any country, be it a large or huge or small country, you are sure that Eagles will perform. Far back as the early 90s, even up till maybe 2000, let's say 2003 or thereabout. But afterwards, everything dwindled, especially after we couldn't qualify for 2006 World Cup. Angola, Palancras, Negras of Angola, picking that one. And since then, we've been struggling dilly-dally, you know, and all that.
That is why I still make mention of Guinea-Bissau. If we want qualification, Guinea-Bissau would have still been with us. We would have qualified for.
I know. Let's leave qualification now. Let's talk about performance of the Eagles
now,
lately.
Administratively, that is where we got it wrong. Now you said it all. In the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, the Super Eagles were flying high. Our wings were sharp and we were flying. But immediately we started bringing in those who don't even know what sports is all about, those who don't have the onions what football is all about. Started coming into into our administrative setup. We started dwindling, and at the end, we also allowed politics to roll in,
to overshadow the football.
Tribalism, nepotism, and the rest of them. This is my brother. When you know your brother is not does not have that qualities, you put him there, and that is where we have gotten it wrong. If we can rewrite the wrongs, let's go back to the basics. The basics is we used to have good home-based players. We used to have good leagues. They picked a lot of players from Iwanyawo National. Kanu Wanko started from Iwanyawo National. We have the Barbros, we have the Julius Bergers of this world, where Rashidi Yekini came out from before he took his trip to Europe. We have the Enugu Rangers. We have a lot of home-based players, and our league was up and running. Now, if we can go back to the basics, how do we go back to the basics? Let's get our league to the standard where we used to be. We can improve on it. We cannot be in one position, fine, because they say life is in phases. We have you move from this phase to the next phase. That is the growth. That is the development. So we should go back to the basics. If we go back to the basics, we can get it right. We have good players in our league. Let's make our league work well, and then we can produce the best of the best. When you want to play, though, as of yesterday, I was speaking with the media officer of the Guinean national team, Carlos by name, and they themselves, they are afraid of Nigeria. To be sincere with you, he said it because they know the kind of country they are coming up against. He said if they can get a draw, that is a good result for them. And I jokingly told him, you are not getting a draw here in our country, and he started laughing. He said yes, he knew that they will just try what they will do. And to tell you the truth, Nigeria is still there. We just need to wake up.
Well, do you agree with that, Samoni?
Yes, in addition to what he said, we know where others were moving, we did not. When other countries were moving, especially countries even in Europe that looked up to like countries in Europe that, okay, when our football was growing, they were looking up that, okay, this is another country from Africa that can challenge the football authority in the world. Then, we were not, when they were moving, we were not moving up, we were not growing. When they were developing themselves, when they were developing their leagues, when South Africa were developing their leagues, when the Northern African countries were developing their leagues, we were sleeping. These are the problems that really cost us this. Now, it's not even about having home-based players in the national team. This is not even the main problem. The problem is that the passion for football, the way we play football in Nigeria has gone down. Is downgrading. Yes, on a daily basis. We lack basic amenities, adequate amenities when it comes to sports. We know most times we talk about football, and other people will be like, okay, is it only football? We have basketball. Para Falcons, we had the ball. We saw what they did. It was a woeful performance. So there's another. So it shows that it's a general thing for us. We are not where we are meant to be. We can't call ourselves giant of Africa, and we have loopholes, big one, especially in sports. That's one of the things we have. Okay, now let's see that. Thankfully, we have players that played in Europe, or they are playing in Europe right now. We look at our team, and we're meant to make selections. We could not bring in, at least before. During those days, Genetro said, okay, because our league was not, the league was not in action when I selected players. That was the reason I could not call players. That's the reason I could not call low-based players. Okay, now, the league has started. They've been playing. Okay, you said, okay, because the league is not on TV, that's why we could not see them. Okay, we see more than 3-4 clubs that stream their games on YouTube. What is now the excuse? Why do we only have one player from the MPFL?
Sochima from Rivers United.
And we know definitely that Sochima is not going to play in the double cracker because Francis Uzo is the #1 goalkeeper. So unless he's injured or maybe for another obvious reasons, maybe that's why Sochima will be playing. So why in the whole of the Nigerian team in the MPFL, we could not get 2 players. That's a slap. That the head coach of the Super Eagles could even defend picking an under-20 player ahead of an MPFL player. What's wrong? What's really wrong with our league? So these are the things that we need to start looking at. It's so disheartening. We are not moving. The administrators, the people in charge, they don't even care. They care less about the future of Nigeria as regards sports. These are things that we don't need to share. Okay, now let's look at it. By the time the likes of Victor Osimhen, these guys get to a peak where we should start raising young folks. When last did we even transact players from Nigeria to top 5 leagues in Europe? When last? How many? Let's start looking at the stats. How many? These under 17 that are the under 20, how many of them will be getting contracts in top 5 leagues in Europe? Unless maybe they'll be getting in the 2nd division of some of these countries. So these are the things again that we are not really getting it. How many grassroots coaches are tactically sound? When we start looking at this, how many of them even understand basic tactics? There was a particular day I was speaking with a player, a young guy, and I told him, I said, you said you're a defensive midfielder. That pass you gave was a wrong pass. But your coach just applauded you, but you just gave a guy a pass under pressure. You just killed him. You just killed your team. You can't call yourself a defensive midfielder and you make that mistake. But because that tactics is not there. Many of them just play, okay, we just want to bamboozle the ball, we just want to score. That's the only thing they just want to do. We're not getting it. But over time, by the time it gets to a stage, football is a thing where you would think that you have it. But by the time you get to a stage, you just discover that it has gone.
Now, the major issue is that we need to actually rewrite our wrongs administratively, and then we'll start doing better. Well, if you remember during Bumfrey Joe, he gets whatever funds he needs directly from the number 1 citizen of the country. He goes there straight and everything is sorted out. We can still have something of that nature, not that maybe going directly to the president of the country, but if we have a working system, a working administrator, somebody who understands sports is science, football is also science, and you understand the territory, and you should know that football nowadays is business, purely business. Then when you take all this in place, and then let's not also forget the government side of it. Policies needs to favor whoever that is coming in to check out or to invest or to support. Now, when the policies are not favorable, now when the economy is not working well, where do we go to? So these are some of the things we need to put in place and get it right. We have a lot of talent, bundle of talent. Every street, every corner you go, you see talent. If you go to a family in Nigeria, you see a child kicking the ball, or a child doing athletics, or a child doing gymnastics. You see that interest everywhere you go. The talents are there. Now, facilities wise, we don't have it. We need to start bringing all these things in place, and then we can dominate when it comes to sport. We can dominate. Okay, just I think that was on Monday. We reported this young 14-year-old boy from Ekiti who will be playing at the
I met his father.
We have a lot of them, not just that boy alone. That is why I still love what. Let me deviate a bit. What Cricket Federation is doing. They have done what is called a 1,000 roadmap. They are traveling around the 36 states of the world.
Nigeria.
Yes, of Nigeria. Sorry, I beg your pardon, not of the world now. Getting young cricketers. And now the recent tournament we played the qualifiers. Lukman, that guy, okay, I think he's going to be 15. He was 14 years of age when he was the cover from the school, secondary school. So if we have all these things in place, and then that is why I love what the federation is doing. They are bringing out programs that can accommodate people, get talents, groom them, and that is why we have been adjudged the fast developing cricket team in the world right now. Look at our ranking, just barely of how many years. look at where we are, look at what we have done with cricket in Africa. So we can also emulate this. We can go out there. What are these Europeans doing to get it right? Let's go and do what is called copy the right thing, bring it back here, add it to the one we already have, then we can do better.
Let me just chip in something. I remember before the World Cup started, former Nigerian player Mitu Adepoju, the headmaster, he said that when Spain that they had a project, they call it I think the 10-year goal. I think they started maybe in the early 2000s, and they said the project was that okay, the FIFA Go Project funds, they invested it in developing young stars, getting amenities, facilities, and everything. And years after, we saw Spain winning the World Cup. And if you look at the players from 2000, those are the guys that graduated to the national team. They followed due process. One of the problems we have is that we don't follow due process in Nigeria. We jump. You see a player, now okay, the player plays under 15. You see his agent already eyeing the guy from under 15 to go and play under 23. Why now? Let's calm down. Okay, look at Ogunshakin youth. I stay in Ekiti State. I met Ogunshakin's father. Ogunshakin's father happens to be one of the people that actually inspired that youngster to tennis. It's not that there's the facility in Ekiti State. The parents were just intentional about him playing tennis. They took it upon themselves to make him. It wasn't that. They don't even have. You can't even. How are you going to find that very good tennis courts in Ekiti State that you're going to get? But they just have it. Look at Ekiti State. Tosin Oribamiche. These are people that okay. Their family were the one that invested. They spent fortune trying to get them out of that place to a place where they can get better understanding of the sport.
Well, we've been talking concerning the Super Eagles versus Guinea-Bissau team, a tough one there, just trying to prepare concerning all the happening in the world of sports. Emmanuel and also Amoni, they've spoken concerning what we need to do to get our sport back to that particular mainframe where things will be going well. Really, we need to see sport as business, not just as fun. If we take it seriously, facility-wise, administrative-wise, in every other area, not to jump the guns every time, just like Amoni said, we can get it right. And at least our sport will be back to where all the youths across Nigeria will really turn into sport, and it can really help in getting them employed and also getting a lot of revenue and victory with laurels for Nigeria. Now, before we go, let's quickly look at some fixtures ongoing right now. Across Africa, we have Nigeria, Guinea-Bissau, yes, ongoing too. Cape Verde, Eswatini, Burkina Faso versus Togo, Namibia away to Cameroon, Egypt are hosting Malawi, and you have Guinea versus Ethiopia. Those are the games on also across Africa in the Africa Cup of Nations qualification fixtures. Let's look at the European ones also. The matches will be coming up for the Euro 2024. France against Netherlands, a big one there. Gibraltar, Greece, the battle of the GGs. Czech Republic versus Poland, Faroe Island away to Moldova, Austria play Azerbaijan, Sweden hosts Belgium, Bulgaria, Montenegro, Serbia, Lithuania. Those are the matches slated for the 2024 European Championship qualifying fixtures now. Let's look at some story in the world of transfer. Well, Nagelsmann, the man that has been dealt with talking about Bayern Munich right now, will be getting attention from Tottenham Hotspur. They could turn to Nagelsmann as a replacement for Antonio Conte. Well, Conte right now, his days are getting numbered concerning Tottenham Hotspur. Well, Arsenal leads AC Milan and Sevilla in the race for Barcelona AS Akomac. That young lad is really still becoming a subject of discussion between Arsenal, Leeds United, and also AC Milan. Not forgetting Sevilla, the king of Europa, who are also trying to see how they can get the youngster from Barcelona, AS Akomac, a big one there. About 4 clubs running after him. And the last one says Real Madrid reactivates Operation Haaland for Man City in 2024. As they call him, robotic striker has really done well for himself with Manchester City. But right now, the Los Merengues are really trying to see how they can sign him. And it could be a whopping £212 million. Why? As at that time, his release clause will be activated. Maybe I should take you guys on this briefly. Haaland, Real Madrid, 2024, they are trying to go for him, and as at that time, the clause, £212 million. Briefly.
outrageous. But he wants it. In a way, he wants it. But if I am Florentino Perez, I won't pay Florentino Perez. I won't pay that huge amount of money for Erling Haaland.
I'd rather go for who? Go for who?
I'll go for Osimhen.
Good one. I know you're going to mention Osimhen. Osimhen is a hot cake right now.
Yes.
And for you, money.
Haaland is an European player, and they always want to choose an European player over Osimhen. And I have a friend who said that Haaland should not be playing football.
He should be doing what?
Probably just go to NFL or do something.
Oh my goodness!
Just play because the guy is. Yeah, I think he has. It's just like, let me say, I don't want to say the cheat to football. He's just broken everything. You know, just now taking.
There, get the goal, and that's
now
it.
taking Haaland to play to a club like Real Madrid. That's all. That's the next thing. That's the biggest thing. That means you've just gotten Cristiano Ronaldo 7.0 already.
Well, we've been talking concerning Haaland there, but really, if you look at it, it's just that, just like you mentioned, Haaland, yes, he's an European player, but Osimhen seems to be better. Let's be candid. It's just because...
Seriously, I think I took someone on this day before yesterday, and it was a heated argument. Look, it's not because Osimhen is a Nigerian. Side by side, Erling Haaland, the work rate of Osimhen is higher than that of Erling Haaland. If Erling Haaland finds himself in Napoli, I think week in, week out, he will be injured. Look at, compared to the kind of tackles, the way Osimhen play. Osimhen get the ball, contributes to the attack.
To build up to the goal.
To build up. But Erling Haaland and Pep Guardiola has come out to defend his style that he bought Erling Haaland
to score goals.
But you know that when Haaland first joined Manchester City, that was what he was doing. You discovered that recently, before he started getting himself scoring goals, Pep Guardiola's tactics has always been that you come to play, support the play, and that's why he wanted to get Harry Kane because of his style of play. Harry Kane joins the midfield, supports the play and everything. And Haaland got himself, he understood that game. And for me, Haaland is a very energetic player. He's a very energetic player.
Well, we just have to run it off right now because, a big one there between Moni and Emmanuel. I want to appreciate you, gentlemen, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Adeniyi Ajisafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.